Hello guys, welcome back to another review of old and new movies. I have watched today on the 23rd of March, even though this is probably after March right now, or probably even after Easter, I don't know. But what we're going to review today is, sadly, the Pirate movie. If you like sloppy, sort of eerie, slapsticky, out of place movies, this is a movie for you. I'm telling you. But I'm gonna warn you guys, if you're not into these sort of movies, you're not missing much, because as the way the trailer goes, it goes like, oh, this is the best movie ever made, even though it's not, because I do like these sort of movies and I do like the story, but I just don't like the slapstick. It's out of place to me, and I feel like the music in this movie is not working for me. And the acting is like childish, even though they talk like normal adults at the same time and normal 20-year-olds. I don't know, but I like this movie, but I just don't like the way they did it. Like, oh, this slapstick bit is alright in this scene, and then this ooey sort of cheesy romantic sloppiness is in that scene, and it makes a lot of sense, even though all the slapstick and all the romantic bits have to get into a scene that is perfect for that scene, if you know what I mean. But no, it just doesn't work like that in this universe. Whoever directed and produced this movie, if whoever produced it or made it or directed it or whatever is on something, because do you know what? Because this movie sucks. I like the pattern, I like the story, but I just don't like what they did in the movie. My favourite songs out of all the music out of the songs is probably Happy Ending or First Love. But with First Love, it's just so strange, because he wanted to be something else. He wanted to do something else at the beginning of the movie. So I get it with First Love with him, with Kristy McNichol or whatever her name is, that famous American chick, not really, that she played in. She plays this character called Mabel or something like that. What a weird name for a 20-year-old, Mabel. But I don't know. This movie's so weird. You have to watch it because how weird it is, but you just can't stand. I was watching it with I was watching it with my mum because my mum likes romantic rubbish. So, and also there was nothing else to do with me. I couldn't watch all the other things I like. Well, I can, but I didn't feel like doing it on that specific day. But then when I finished off watching it yesterday, like 2 months, not 2 months, 2 weeks later on, finished it yesterday, I think, okay, the beginning bit of this movie is rubbish, and there's bad word for everything to do with rubbish. It's just so, you just can't stand the beginning bit of this movie. It's just so ooey, sort of cheesy sloppiness of First Love, da, 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 I always dreamed of, and then that First Love makes sense for him, but it makes no sense for Kristy McNichol character, because okay, we never saw her part and her opinion about what her life wants and what she wants to do with her life. But no, we got only his part. I wish you had her first and then him. Sorry for vehicles in the background making noises, but I don't know. But I do think that it just doesn't match up that well than you want to, if you know what I mean. So, with that out of the way, then there's the Pirate King. Wow. I feel like we saw other kingy sort of characters when they're not kings, they're just a something king. We saw that before, but you know when sometimes you say, oh, this came out first, let's say the 80s or the 90s or probably 70s characters come out first, and then they all make proper characters later on in the future, like in the 2010s or the 2000s or something. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know for me, but I just feel like the Pirate King, I just feel like we watched something like that before. Not that the actual pirate, but it could be, I don't know, the restaurant maker king, or it could be, you know, the teacher king. It could be this king, could be that king, but isn't a king. But you know when some characters say, "Oh, I'm this king, I am that king," we saw it all before. Even though this is probably one of the first movies who actually done it, but I feel like this movie is really, really good, and I feel like I kind of love this movie, but I just don't like it what they did in the movie. Like the sloppiness, horrible, cheesy romantic slapsticky, horrible. I just don't like every single bit in the movie, and all critics say this is rubbish, and I don't disagree with them, but I'm just saying, I don't know what to say, because I mean, I think this movie's okay-ish, but the story, I mean, but they're not the acting. I feel they had those good actors, good story, but not. I feel like the slapstick and the romance all bit is out of place. Definitely the slapstick. I won't really say the romance bit, because they had to put the romance bit in certain sections to say, oh, you can't have a relationship because I'm a pirate or something, or I can't have a relationship because something to do with being rich. I don't know, but I get that bit. But apart from that, why are you saying that you can't? And then at the very end, they want a happy ending, or she wants a happy ending. You know, Mabel. I mean, like, so we all want a happy ending. We're not one of those people who just like watch stuff like The Italian Job, where in the Italian Job, he was saying, how can we get the gold if it's gonna go off the cliff? And I mean, like, that's not really a happy ending. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying we like happy endings, we all know that. We could, you know, when sometimes you watch something like the Muppet movie, or I haven't watched the Muppet movie, but everybody else seen them watch the Muppet movie, or the Muppet Takes Manhattan, or the Muppet, you know, whatever movies, they all have happy endings. Like, for example, they have a happy ending, but for some reason, they all scream out, happy, happy ending. I mean, like, I don't know, but I do like happy ending, you know, the song out of the soundtrack. And my least favourite song out of the soundtrack and also this movie is First Love, because it makes no damn sense why they sing it. Because, okay, if you're a huge fan of sloppy, romantic rubbish, do you? This is the movie for you. And if you're into 80s sort of rubbish movies, do you? There's really good 80s movies, like Weird Science, Back to the Future, Dark Crystal, all of them lovely jammy badass shows and films from the 80s, you know, kid-wise and adult-wise, badass, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm trying to say, it's just, what the hell. So I feel like the Major General, whatever his name is, in this movie, the father of this Mabel sort of Christie McNichol character, I feel like we haven't given him actual bigger character in the movie, you know, like proper father type figure. Or we had more something with that. But I mean, like, I don't know. But apart from that, this movie is so strange. Like, for example, why you got cameos of Star Wars? Why you got a cameo of Indiana Jones? Why have you got some kind of weird, probably cameo of the Pink Panther character? I'm sorry, but what? I don't understand why the police is like here, going along and go whoop-ha, whoop-ha, whoop-ha. Seriously, what's up with that? I feel like whoever made this movie is on something, or they're mentally ill, because I have no idea who made this movie, but they're definitely not well, because I saw other slapstick sort of romance films that I usually think it is incredible and lovely, and they do good. But this is all out of place for me. I feel like the slapstick is out of place. I feel like the romance is out of place. Well, I don't think the romance is out of place. I feel like every single sloppy romance is out of place. Like first love, da 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 da, da. And also, like the happy ending, I thought was the best bit in the movie because they have to put a happy ending. That makes more sense why they put a happy ending. But apart from that, all of the stupid romantic stuff. But I get it. I like it how they talk about, oh, we can't do this because pirate stuff or witch stuff or whatever, or something to do with birthday being he's 5 but even he's 20 something. I didn't understand what that all meant, but at least they tried to put some information in. Otherwise, they put the effort into putting something in. Otherwise, what the hell? But I don't know. So, if you haven't watched this movie, you're not missing much. And if you really want to see the movie because you've seen the trailer on YouTube or whatever you watched the trailer from, and you feel like, oh my god, this is what I want to watch. But you're not missing much, folks. You're just missing the best bits in the movie. And there's no such thing as best bits, because if you've seen this movie, I think they had best bits when they're not supposed to get best bits, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you watch movies and you see the outtakes or the deleted scenes, and you feel like, oh, those are the best bits, but even though they're not really the best bits, but if they put it in the movie, it's, more interesting or something like that. Even if it isn't interesting, it's kind of wonderful. I don't know. But what do you think? If you like this movie, do you? But we as critics, we find it rubbish. But I do like the story. I do like the actors in it. I don't like the actors, but I do think the actors are good in this movie. I do think the story is good, the setting is good, everything else is good, but not the flipping romantic stuff and the slapstick stuff. I just feel like it doesn't match up, you know what I mean? Sometimes, okay, listen. Lauren Hardy slapstick matches up. Warner Brothers, with the Looney Tunes, matches up with a slapstick, yeah? Abbott and Costello matches up with a slapstick. Or other, so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I know you're probably thinking, oh, wonderful, it's a good movie. You're criticising one of my favourite movies at the moment. I'm just saying, this is rubbish. And if you think this is wonderful, do you. As I say again, do you. But, oh my god, I just feel like, for some weird reason, for some weird reason, I know that people keep thinking, okay, I know what Craig's on about, and I think I agree with Craig, but why does he keep on saying it in like, oh, what a shame, we have to agree with him sort of way, and we're like, even though he's wrong, because this movie is great, it's not great. Okay, to be fair, the story is great. This is great. Whatever's great. But apart from that, the slapstick is rubbish, and the romantic sort of cheesiness is rubbish. Or even I call it cheesy, I don't know. But it's up to you what you want to call it. And even the final battle scene is just all rushed, and it's it's not funny. When sometimes you watch stuff like, I don't know, other stuff that's similar to this, it's more funny because they put it into the funniest bits. Here they put funny bits because they don't actually. I don't know the history of this film, but I do think, and I don't know the directors or anything, but I do think the director was thinking, how can I make this funny? I put all this in, and I'll put the producers putting any ideas in, and get all the editors to put this in and whatever. And it doesn't work, mate. Because you know why? Because you're fake. You don't know how. To be fair, I'm not you, and I am not a really good filmmaker. But if I was, I'll still think that this is rubbish. Okay, so, alright, but what do you think? Am I wrong? Am I right? Put in the comments down below, and I'll see you all next time for another my reaction. And I'm just going to say, this series is me having my reaction to movies and TV shows. It's not about reacting to videos. I'm just saying, guys. Alright? Good. Anyway, I'll see you all next time for another movie review or TV show review or something like that. And I will do a TV show review hopefully one day. But anyway, I'll see you all next time. Bye.